Hey, babe, welcome back to another episode of the Money, Mindset, and Manicures podcast. I'm really excited about today's topic because I am diving into all the things that it takes to be an entrepreneur. And I'm going to have you ask yourself a deep question whether you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur or not. But first, I want to give you guys a quick update about my time in Maui for Thanksgiving. I just got back from 2 weeks in Maui. We spent Thanksgiving there, and Mark and I invited both of our families. Well, Mark's parents already live in Maui, but we invited my parents and my sister to join us in Maui for Thanksgiving. And if you listen to my latest podcast episode right before this one, I talk all about just the family dynamics and energy and trauma and all this sort of stuff that comes up around the holidays, and how for a majority of my life, I hated the holiday season because it always brought so much pain to me and my family, because there was always so many fights and arguments and this and that and all this sorts of shit, which made me not look forward to it at all. And I'm here to tell you that we just had the most incredible time all together, which I think is also very rare to hear when you bring two different families together, right? Like it's Mark's family and my family together under one roof. Like, what? It was amazing. And it was so good to the point where at the end of it, his family and my family, and for multiple days afterwards, we were like texting and talking about how we need to make this a family tradition, a yearly tradition to be there for Thanksgiving in Maui, which is just so exciting. It just like goes to show how much of a good time we had. And for me, this is huge because if you listen to that last podcast episode, I talked a lot about really how to deal with different family dynamics, how to protect your own energy, how to set boundaries, how to deal with negative people or situations, and how to change it as well. And having this epic time together for this past holiday, it just showed a lot of growth in me and how I've been able to make certain changes to help, not have those negative things happen, which was just so, so great. So I just want to share that with you in case you're listening to this right now and maybe you're going home for the holidays or having family come in and you're already dreading it and you don't know how to deal. Go listen to that episode. Because if I've been in that place for so long and now having a completely different experience, you can possibly do that too, but it does take time. But it also just takes that awareness for you to know how to show up and how to handle those situations too. So go listen to that episode. And to wrap that up with a bow, Mark and I have also decided, instead of going back to Maui for Christmas, which was our original plan, we've had a lot of travel the past few months, like crazy travel, international travel. In fact, we're going to Turkey next week. And right, that's like a week or two before Christmas. And we just decided, we're not going to jump on another plane to go back for Christmas in Maui. And since we saw both of our families at Thanksgiving, we were like, well, you know what? We saw both families for one holiday. It's okay. We don't need to see you guys again 2 weeks later. And so we decided we're going to host Christmas just for ourselves in Austin because we have never spent the holidays at our own home. This is Mark and I, our entire, from like literally since like after college to today, I have always traveled home for Christmas. And I have also never felt, because I've never spent Christmas in my own home, I have never felt like my home is my home. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but I feel because I was always leaving and, whether it's for Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and all these sorts of things, like I was always just leaving and not making my own family and community in the city that I actually live in. So Mark and I had decided we're going to stay home for Christmas and we're going to do all of the Christmassy things here in Austin and spend time with our friends that we have here over Christmas and do a Christmas party and New Year's thing and all this sorts of stuff. And we're really excited about it. But here's the fun kicker with this is because our families had such a good time in Maui for Thanksgiving, immediately my sister was like, well, can I come to Christmas at your house in Austin? And I was all like, oh my God, of course. And then one of my best girlfriends, our best girlfriends, also was like, can I come for Christmas too at your house? I'm like, of course. And then about a week later, my mom calls me and they're supposed to go to Poland for Christmas. My mom and my dad were supposed to go to Poland for Christmas. And she asks, hey, I'm thinking about not going to Poland for Christmas. Can we come to your house for Christmas? And I was just floored at that point because never in my wildest dreams, and especially because Mark and I, we're not married yet. We're engaged, obviously. We don't have kids yet. Like there's no like there's no like drawing factor for people to come to us, right? But the fact that even my mom and dad now want to come to us for Christmas, it is just next level, feel good. Oh my God, I'm so excited to do this here with our family and make new memories and create new traditions for Mark and I and our future family. Like, I'm just so excited. I'm literally right now just going through and trying to order a bunch of stuff online. I really want to make our house really Christmassy and decorated and be super intentional with it. So by the way, if you have any tips for like decorating a house, I've never done it. I think I've only ever put up a tree. That's basically it, because we always go home. So we never spend time in the holiday part at our house, and we never put any effort into it, or I never have either. Let me know any tips that you have. I'm just so excited. So stay tuned to Instagram, because I'll be posting a lot of like before and afters and behind the scenes of decorating and stuff, because I'm very, very excited about that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I'm telling you, when you listen to that last episode about dealing with just like the energy and trauma of holidays and family and stuff, like it sucks. Like there's nothing worse than feeling that way, going home for the holidays, spending time with your family, whether you have people coming over, going somewhere. And if I can get to the other side of that in my own family and change this dynamic and energy, I promise you, you can too. It might not happen in one season, but ultimately it can happen over time. It just takes, putting your foot down a little bit and setting those boundaries and taking care of yourself too. So I'm just throwing it out there, especially since we're in December and around the holidays, and you may or may not be in it. But let's move on to today's topic for this episode. Are you meant to be an entrepreneur? And we are diving in deep. I may trigger you in this episode, and just know it's not on purpose. I'm coming to you from a place of love and realness, because I feel like there is a lack of authenticity out there. And I want to burst the bubble coming from someone with a lot of experience, who has seen a lot of shit, who has heard a lot of shit and experienced a lot of shit out there too, especially when it comes to being an entrepreneur. I want to ask you, and this all, by the way, this is all coming inspired from a reel that I saw a couple days ago. Now, if you know the reel that I'm talking about, please DM it to me, because I didn't save it. I didn't even comment on it. I have no way to track this down, but it really got into my head. I saw this reel and I know it's gone viral. So please send it to me, because I would actually probably love to interview this girl on the podcast. But she talks about how she is $68,000 in debt from investing into herself for her business, right? With the coaching, the masterminds, the this, the that, whatever. All of a sudden, she's $68,000 in debt. She's being really vulnerable in this story, on this post of like, I'm at a point now where like I have to decide whether I pay my coaching bill or pay for food. Like I don't even have money for rent. Like, how did I get myself to this place where I'm investing in these things that are supposed to give me 10x my return, and it didn't? And she wasn't, and this has been over multiple years for her. And this isn't her blaming the coaching industry. This is just her sharing vulnerably, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know how I got here, but I'm here and it sucks. And she was just sharing, being really vulnerable with her story. And immediately upon watching it, I wanted to DM her so bad, and I didn't, because I'm like, this thing had like a million comments, and I'm sure she's gotten so many DMs, right? But it got me to thinking about what this coaching industry and entrepreneurship industry has really turned into. Because back when I got started in my early 20s, I was basically forced into entrepreneurship before I even kind of knew what it was, because I was supposed to go to med school. I decided not to go to med school. And basically my parents kind of said like, well, if you're not going to go do that, we're no longer financially supporting you. So you got to figure it out. And I already knew from having a couple jobs in college with really shitty bosses, I was like, fuck getting a corporate job. I'm never working for anybody else like that. So insert entrepreneurship, because that was the way I could make money doing things on my own time and being really driven by money. That seemed very exciting for me. I dove into entrepreneurship very early on. Mind you, entrepreneurship back then was not cool. You're actually kind of a loser if you said you're an entrepreneur or like business owner. Like, it wasn't what it is today by any means. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like back then, like that was like the real entrepreneurs back then. Like, you were willing to just eat shit pie and get through it and prove people wrong. That was kind of what I felt with. I bring this up because in today's day and age on social media, I feel like everyone and their mother is a coach. And I don't know if it's just my feed, but even not, like I go on my like brand's TikTok account and stuff like that, which doesn't follow any of that stuff, but always somewhere. Here's how to make money online. This is how you make money on social media. This is how you could do a course and launch this and sell that. And no. It's so easy. 10x your return. I'll help you make 6 figures in 1 year, blah, 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 blah. There's so much shit out there, which if it was to be true, we would all be so fucking rich. We would all be so rich. Am I not right? And what I have seen this coaching industry turn into, mind you guys, if you didn't know this, I used to be a business coach. I used to be a social media coach. I used to coach influencers. I used to do all that. But you want to know why I became a coach? It's because I had already done it for myself in my own business that I started without a coach, without a mentor, without being like investing. I started it on my own. People started noticing what I was doing and wanted to learn how. And I was all like, sure, I'll fucking teach you how to do it. I'll do another income stream of coaching while I'm also running my other company. I wasn't just a coach. But what I'm trying to say here is so many people out there are talking about how anyone can be an entrepreneur and anyone can be a business owner. No, the fuck they cannot. And I'm going to be really raw and honest. And I want to say, excuse my language, but I start to cuss a lot when I'm really freaking passionate about something. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry. That's just how I am. And I love that about me, to be honest. But it is not easy to be an entrepreneur. It is not easy to be a business owner. And I'm talking about this from experience. And I'm talking about this from a place of, if you were to be a real entrepreneur or business owner, you would have already figured it out before you had to invest with someone to teach you how to do it. Let me repeat that again. A real entrepreneur figures it out on their own before they go and invest with somebody on how to do it. Now, I know this might rub some of you the wrong way, but it's so fucking true. Think about Steve Jobs. Think about Elon Musk. Who else is out there? Jeff Bezos. You guys think they started their businesses with hiring a coach to show them how to do it? The fuck they did not. They didn't, right? They had an idea. They had a vision. They were sat in their garages, in their small little shitty offices, and they were brainstorming, putting all the pieces together on how to grow this thing, how to create this thing, how to do this thing, right? Hell, Jeff Bezos started selling books online. That's what Amazon was. Did you guys know that? Books online. I know that. My parents and I, we bought books on Amazon because that was the only thing available way back then. What I'm trying to say here is a real entrepreneur is going to figure out on their own, and you do not need a coach. And I want to tell you why. Because as an entrepreneur, you need to have passion. You need to have grit. You need to have drive. You need to be so fucking obsessed and delusional that your idea and your vision and what you want to create, you're so obsessed with it that you actually do whatever it takes to create it. And what I mean by that is you are going to deep dive into figuring out how to do it. If you can pass that first test of figuring out, okay, well, how do I launch my website? How do I manufacture a product? How do I do this? Which, by the way, every single piece of that information is online for free. I am proof of that. I started an e-commerce business 3 years ago. I didn't know anything about e-commerce. I have not invested in any coaches, masterminds, nothing in over 3 years. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because I was the one before that would invest in coaches and in masterminds. And yes, they served their purpose. But when I switched into this part, I was all like, I can figure this shit out. And tying this back to going back to Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all of that, right? Like they started their companies because they had the dream, the drive, the vision. They figured it out. They figured out all the things, right? And then as they grew and scaled their companies, then they got mentors. Then they got advisors. Then they probably seeked out help, whether it was through a coach or whatever. They paid somebody to help them out, whatever, right? They then got the help as they were growing and scaling. That's real entrepreneurship. Okay, babe, I know you're listening to this podcast because I know that you have a desire to change your life and accomplish big goals, right? But I also know that something has been holding you back on going after those big goals. Or maybe it's that you self-sabotage, or maybe you've set these big goals and you get really overwhelmed and you just don't go after them altogether. Well, I want to introduce you to a journal that is literally going to help you change your life and help you actually manifest and accomplish any desires or goals that you have. It's called the Marriage Scripting Journal, and it's the #1 selling manifestation and goal setting journal designed exclusively for empowering women just like you to up level and change your life. Now, if you haven't seen this journal on social media already, I want to share with you that it is literally your personal guide to manifesting your dreams and unlocking your true potential. And inside its beautifully curated pages, you'll discover powerful daily journaling pages, workbooks, and exercises to help you set goals, help you plan your dreams, and manifest the life that you deserve. Plus, the one thing that I had to include, and it was a non-negotiable with this journal, is that it needed to have a community. So you'll also have access to join an online community filled with thousands of women just like you who are on the same path using the journal. So I invite you to join me and these thousands of women who have already embraced the power of manifestation and changed their life using the Marriage Scripting Journal. And I also want to gift you with a special 15% off code on your first journal order by using the code Money Mindset. The code is Money Mindset. So head over to manuscripting.com today and embark on a transformative journey by ordering the journal. So go ahead, check out the show notes, empower yourself. Answer the call to getting this journal. If this is speaking to you, I want you to join us. It's time to script your dreams into reality with the Marriage Scripting Journal because you deserve to create and manifest a life that you're completely obsessed with. See show notes for details. And I'm not saying that you're not an entrepreneur because you paid and invested into a course to learn something to help you in your own business. I'm not saying that because, yeah, that's real. But I'm saying this because so many people think they're all of a sudden that they're an entrepreneur, that they're a business owner because they invested in a course, they took the course, and now, boom, I'm a coach and I'm going to teach you how to do the same thing. And this is how the whole entire coaching industry has gotten so MLM, so scammy, so regurgitated that most people are now out there lying to you about the numbers, that the stuff that they could do for you, right? And maybe you have been one of those people that have been sold to. Have you invested into something where someone said to you, I'm going to help you 10x your income this year. I'm going to help you make 6 figures in your business this year. And I'm going to ask you, after taking that course or getting that coaching, did that happen for you? And I know a lot of these coaches, they have good intention, but a lot of them, they've never done that for themselves outside of that coaching business for themselves. And that's the one thing that I took a lot of pride in when I was a coach, because I had actually built companies before teaching someone how to do it for themselves. And yes, at certain points, I did get a coach because I had launched and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm doing the thing. How do I get to the next level? That's when I got help. How do I get to this next level? I like literally like spinning my wheels. I've done the things, set the things up, getting clients, getting results. Now, how do I get up there next? And this is exactly why I do not teach and I'm not a coach for e-commerce businesses. I get so many DMs and inquiries from people asking me, can you teach me how to do what you did? And I say no, and I don't know when I will ever say yes. But the reason I say no is because I cannot coach you to do what I have done. It has been 3 years going into 4th year of just so much hard work, grit, struggle, pain, excitement, celebrations, all of it. It's been a fucking roller coaster. It's not something I can teach in a 90-day program because what it takes to be a real entrepreneur is just, you need that freaking grit. You need that passion. You need that drive naturally. You cannot be coached that. And this is why so many people fail in entrepreneurship. This is why so many people don't see success when they hire coaches and mentors, because you are not meant to do it in the first place. And what I see that has happened on social media is people have created this facade that it is so easy to build an online business. The fuck it is not. It is okay to not have your own business. It is okay to not be an entrepreneur. It is 100% okay to have a corporate job and a flourishing career in that job. We are not all put on this earth to be entrepreneurs. If we were, society would collapse. Who would do the work, right? For these bigger corporations. If we all had our own business, what would happen? And this isn't to talk down on people in corporate. No. Like, hell, I soon will hope to have people that work for me. I do already. And I hope to become a bigger company to employ even more people, because I love to pay people. I love to see people in their element. A lot of my teams that I have right now, which are very small, they freaking love what they do. They are so good at what they do. They're not meant to be entrepreneurs. So I'm here to tell you, it is okay if you are not. And I want you to also think about, if you've had that itch or that pull to start a business and all of that, do it on your own first. Everything is online for free. And if you are signing up because you're like, I need accountability, you're not an entrepreneur. You will not make it. I'm telling you that right now. Because what happens when you're done with that cycle of coaching? You think this, like, your drive is going to change? It doesn't. This is a built-in thing inside of you. This is why entrepreneurs are a little delulu. We are crazy. We do see bigger visions. We see bigger, so big, no one else fucking gets it. People think you are crazy. You need that naturally. That's what makes you a real good entrepreneur. And that's what's going to bring you success. Because of your passion, your grit, your drive, your ability to figure shit out on your own. I've had multiple companies over the 10 years that I've been an entrepreneur where I had to figure so much out on my own. I started a video production company without even knowing how to press play on a freaking video camera, without knowing how to focus a video camera, without knowing how to set up good lighting and audio and editing. I didn't know any of that shit. Want to know how I learned? YouTube. Are there courses out there charging thousands of dollars to learn it? Yup. Did I invest? No. I figured it out because I had that drive. And also, I didn't have the money to spend. And that comes to my next point of all these coaches and stuff saying, oh, well, you have to invest to up level your life, and up level, like, once you invest, like, that's the energy you got to be in and you're going to make it back. That's a fucking scam, guys. There is a little tiny bit of truth to it. Sure, invest and you are going to up level a little bit, but it's not going to make you rich. I've seen it happen to my friends over and over, or people that I know over and over. And mind you guys, majority of my best friends are coaches. And I'm not here to talk shit on them. I'm here to talk about this, whatever the F is happening on social media. With every other post that I see is someone launching a coaching program, teaching something. And I know deep down inside, I can go to their page and see a few scrolls back. I'm like, you've never launched a business in your life. You're literally regurgitating content that your coach told you. And that's where I see the scammy and MLM side of businesses. And if right now you're sitting here and you're a coach like that, where you actually haven't made or done the things that you say that you'll do for your clients, honestly, shame on you. You're part of the problem. And I am calling you out, and you can hate me for it. But I am so tired of seeing this because so many people are getting hurt by this. So many people, especially the ones that are just desperate, like, I need a way out. I'm in so much debt. Like, maybe if I just invest in this one course that is promising me all this stuff, right? It's like they're just feeding on the weak and vulnerable people. That puts them in a worse position than ever. It's really fucked up what's going on. And there are really great coaches out there, by the way. one of my best friends is like the best business entrepreneur coach. And by the way, I will be bringing her onto the podcast in early January to talk about her program and her coaching, because my God, she is the real fucking deal. And I've known her for a long time now. And the way that she started her business was just kind of how I started mine. She was doing it herself, doing it as a side hustle. She was freaking coaching and doing stuff for free for so long because she didn't know how to monetize it. She didn't even know that was like a thing. She was just doing it out of the goodness of her heart, basically. She is the real deal. I'm not even going to drop her name yet, but I'll tell you this, like when you hear the podcast episode, I'm going to refer to this one. But she is someone that I would 100% send anyone to if they are ready to take that leap. And she does help entrepreneurs from the start. But again, you have to have this specific little piece of DNA within you. I swear that's what it is, because it can't be learned and it can't be taught. You are just born with this drive. It could be an event that happens to you where you just like fucking, it might be just like, wake the fuck up. Oh my God, like I got to do this, that, and the other, right? But I want to share all of this with you because as we're going into 2024, you're probably going to be inundated with content on selling you to sign up and work with someone, to invest in a mentorship program, to invest into a mastermind. Do your due diligence, please. Make sure that who you are signing up with has testimonials from people that you can do some freaking creeping. Go talk to people that have invested with them and ask yourself, like, make sure that they have made results for themselves, not just from selling programs, mind you, like that they actually did the thing, but also, do they have real people that can show you proof? And then also ask yourself that question. Do I have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? Like, is that what I really want to do? What is my reason and purpose behind it? Because like I said, there's nothing wrong with having a corporate career. There's nothing wrong with having a job. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to live an amazing life. So I just want you to get super honest with yourself. And one of the reasons that I'm no longer a coach, even though I get so many people asking me to coach them in e-commerce and to launch their physical based products, it's because I'm still very much in it. And even though I've had so much success, like I don't want to coach somebody to go into this because it's fucking hard work. Every single day I'm getting up and I'm pushing myself. I'm driving. I'm obsessed with learning. I'm listening to the podcast. I'm talking to friends or people that I know about situations and getting their advice. Like I'm so driven myself. This isn't to shame anyone or to, just none of that. It's just, let's bring some awareness to this of what's going on and who you are meant to be and become and step into. Like if you have this download to create the thing, I just ask you, take action on it yourself. How much can you get done yourself without and before having to invest into a coach? Because I promise you, if you have that drive and that grit to just get you to that first point before investing, it's going to be easier for you. And then invest later, get advisors later. That's what I'm doing. And that's the biggest reason why I haven't had a mentor or coach since I started the Manuscripting Journal. It's not because I think I know it all and I don't need help. It's because I'm doing all the things to get to a point which in 2024, very early in this next year, like we're already talking about it with getting an advisor to come in to take a look at the business. Because we just hit 7 figures in revenue. And just now, I'm finally like, okay, how do we get to the next level? Okay, where are my blind spots? Where are my weak spots? What do we need to change? What do we need to improve? Isn't that crazy? 7 figures, $1 million, you guys. That's $1 million in revenue in 1 year so far. I got to this point in revenue, and just now I'm like, okay, we got here. Okay, how do we do the next million? Like how? Like we did that it took us 3 years to get to our first year hitting this. Now I'm asking the questions of like, okay, who do we need to ask? I need someone that is seasoned. I want to talk to somebody that's made multiple millions, which I do have a lot of friends, but I want someone to get into my numbers and advise me on like, hey, okay, like, what do we need to do? Up until then, guess what I was doing? I had no idea about e-commerce, but I was watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, researching shit to death to learn how to implement different things into my e-commerce company. That's how I learned. And I'm not sitting here to brag about that. I'm not sitting here saying like anything like that. I'm just giving you real, raw advice from experience, from what I am seeing, from what I am hearing. And just to kind of like give you some awareness to like think about, hey, before you hit that invest button, from what place are you doing it? Are you doing it from desperation? Are you doing it because you are at a point where actually I do need the help now? Or are you doing it because you're just too fucking lazy to figure it out yourself and you think a coach is just going to hand it all to you, that you're going to regurgitate to somebody else and continue the sick cycle that's going on? I hope you're receiving this message from a place where I am of just, I want the fucking best for you. I want you to live the best life. I don't want you to get sucked in to the sales tactics and all of that, all of the big ass promises out there, right? I want you to follow and make your decisions from complete alignment. I want you to follow those decisions and make them from a place where you are excited, from where you are passionate and driven, and you're going to actually make a change in the world if you are going down the road of entrepreneurship. I love you so much. Please let me know how this episode resonated with you. And again, I really hope this entire episode comes across in the best way possible. Like, that is my only intention, to, yes, call people out, but in the best way. Because if people aren't called out at the end of the day, shit continues, doesn't it? If you are stepping into this space, like, be the next generation of leaders that is actually doing things from place of alignment. That's not sleazy. That's not salesy. That's not a lie. That's not fake shit, Please send me a DM. You can DM me on my personal account, which is Samantha Kazuch. We just recently changed it, by the way. It used to be I am Samantha Kazuch. I finally got Samantha Kazuch back, which I'm so excited about. So DM me there. You can DM me on Money, Mindset, and Manicures. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.